ask whatever you want to ask while we're live. Okay. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know what I did, but I did it. So my bad. You didn't miss nothing, no. But all right. So for those of you who are here and coming in, tonight's discussion is correcting the economic climate with the divine feminine. I was like, y'all like, what the hell is that? What does that mean for real? Well, I'm going to tell you what that means, and you all share your thoughts with me. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, y'all know what to do. What's going on, my sister DJ? What's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for being here. We got some folks coming on in. Yes, ma'am. Money, power. Yes, ma'am. But it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. I said a lot of things we don't talk about. We don't even know to even have the discussion on certain things. And because we don't know to have the discussion, that's a certain energy that's being pinned, and certain movements are being restricted because it hasn't been released. So prayerfully tonight, as we do with every Monday or anytime I get on here and say something to you, that you receive some information and you utilize it. Okay. If at any time I'm saying something that you don't get, ask me a question. If you want to talk about it after the fact, y'all know how to get me. I'm easy to get to for the most part. So just let it be known. Okay. Real quick, I'll give you the call-in number if you want to call in and discuss it. Let's do it. 770-906-5271 if you want to call in. 770-906-5271. I wanted to wait until a couple other people came in. Y'all are coming, but it tend to be a little slow. We move slow on a whole lot of shit. We do. It's somewhat irritating, but I don't want to keep y'all. Okay, because this may not be a full hour show. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Those that come in can catch on from wherever they come in at. Okay, I'm sure I will be repeating myself. So again, the topic is correcting the economic climate with the divine feminine. So let's get it clear first thing, because the men are going to show up or not just because they see divine feminine and automatically disassociate themselves with that. If you noticed, however, the way it was worded, it did not say the woman. Okay, there is a difference there's a separation between a woman and the divine feminine. When I'm speaking of the divine feminine, there's also the divine masculine, which is separated from a man. Okay, these are energies. Divine feminine and divine masculine are energies that correspond with universal commands. Okay, spiritual commands, natural commands. Everything flows according to a certain order, a certain timing, a certain language, certain frequencies and vibrations. And the divine masculine and divine feminine are an energy in which things operate in. Okay, are we clear on that? So we can move forward. So, brothers, if you come in, or if you're not coming in because you saw that, you're going to miss some information. Okay? Get your feelings out of it, because it ain't got shit to do with what you think it does. Okay? Come on in here. We're going to figure out how to make some changes happen that affect us all. Okay? So, what I want to get into is a topic that subject that we've talked about before when we were dealing with the series on Woman, It's Time to Heal. And I believe during that time, I mentioned the power of the woman. And that was also another show, the power of the woman and her influence, and how it's important to utilize that properly, because it can be and has been used in very reckless ways, very destructive manners that completely contradicts that which is natural, or even what it is you are intending to have happen, to manifest. It's contradicting that. People tend to use their abilities in very manipulative ways, manipulating ways that cause harm and injury to other people. Now, we all manipulate something in somebody some kind of way. That's just, by definition, the meaning of the word. Utilize what you got to get what you need, whatever is a manipulation. Any way of changing the circumstance is a manipulation. But when you use it to cause harm or injury to somebody else, then that's wicked. Okay, so we're not talking about that. We're just talking about using what's natural to cause nature to perform in its natural way. So, with that, looking at the way women have the ability to influence the masculine, or how a feminine has the ability to influence a masculine. It's always an energy. And I'm going to do this, men and women, okay, on that now. Anytime a woman wants something done by a man, she know what to do, right? She know how to get at him. If she got to, bat those eyes, or, sit a certain kind of way, whatever it is, say something to him, put on something, smell good, look good, whatever. She know how to do that thing. And usually he'll do that. There's also a language that she speaks that only she can speak. There are certain things that only a woman, a feminine energy can do. Certain things that only a masculine or a male can do. We are in these shells for a reason, okay? Certain places women can get into that a man can't, or would have more difficulty, and vice versa. So we're in them for a reason. The feminine energy is one of those energies that can do certain things that a masculine energy cannot, because it operates in a softer way. Okay, generally speaking, the masculine energy is more of a domineering, a controlling, a matter of fact kind of energy. Let's get it done. It's a fuck your feelings type of energy. It's not a negative. Okay, it is and it is what it is type of energy. Period. Get it done. It plays no games. It asks no questions. It takes no prisoners. None of that. It don't give a fuck. Let's just keep it real, okay? It does what it does to get what it needs and wants to have, and that's that. But that doesn't always work, okay? Sometimes you have to utilize the feminine energy, the divine feminine, that's softer. If you ever, example, sometimes a man will want to have access to a certain group of people, a certain organization, whatever it is, and he can't get it because he's dealing with other masculine energies. He's dealing with other men. He can't get in there. He can't go in there and, tell them a sob story, or be soft in his delivery, whatever. He can't do that. It doesn't work, okay? But a woman, a feminine energy, and I'm saying the woman for real, can go into that same group and get the same thing that the man, masculine, wanted, just because her energy is different, just because she's a woman. Y'all know it. Certain things, men, y'all can't do because you ain't built that way. You're just not, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a shot at all. It's just truth. It is what it is. So the feminine is used to intercede, if you will, to get what's necessary. This has always been the case. There's also a negative to that, because the feminine has also been used in manipulative ways, controlling ways, and divisive ways. We're not going to go through it, but y'all know I'm talking about as far as slavery is concerned, mental slavery, physical slavery, whatever, the separations of the home, division between the man and woman. It's been that, okay? So that's just one of the ways that it has been used in a negative fashion. However, the power of the feminine energy is extremely necessary, one, very influential, very natural, and it needs to be more utilized than the divine masculine, especially during these times when there are economic crises, social crises, whatever. The feminine needs to rise up. The feminine needs to be strengthened in the femininity. Women, we need to be strengthened in our femininity, because that is the controlling factor. That is the most influential factor in everything, is the feminine energy. When you're looking at it from an economic standpoint, women spend the most money. The ads gear toward women. The products gear toward women. Even if it's a man's product, it is geared toward the woman, because the woman is the one who makes purchasing decisions. She's the one who's going to spend the money. She's that one. It's that feminine energy that controls everything. When it comes down to having access to certain loans and grants and other, organizations, whatever it is, federal, city, state programs, whatever it is, a feminine walk in and say, look here, I need some help. I need blah, blah, blah. She don't even have to say nothing. She doesn't need to show up. She's getting that because she's the woman, because she's a feminine energy, because it's geared around that energy. The way that we need to be utilizing that is really paying attention to the power of the feminine influence and using it to build our own economy. Okay. When you are able to access your feminine energy, and I'm just saying feminine energy, I'm not saying man and woman, because we have both. Men have feminine energies as women also have masculine energies. Some need to have those energies balanced because sometimes they're just off on either side. Okay. I know that I have had plenty times when my masculine energy was overwhelming. Okay. And it had to get checked and corrected. That didn't make me a man. It just made the way I would deliver things or how I was thinking or whatever, that it was this. It was a matter of fact, let's get it done, fucking feeling it, period. Like this across the board. It was just that. Once those energies are balanced, then everything can get balanced. So in dealing with your money or the economic system, what needs to happen, instead of the masculine energy being in control of what money is used for, what the currency is used for, where it's going, how it's going to be obtained, put it that way, where it's going to be utilized. The feminine energy needs to be more of the forefront of that because it's softer. It has a way of being able to penetrate any energy, masculine or feminine, where the masculine does not. The masculine tends to beat you over the head and leave no options. Whereas the feminine energy allows you to just open your head up and give you the options. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference in that, and we need to know that and operate accordingly. If you have questions at this point, please feel free to ask me, okay? Or if you have any comments, share them. If you want to call in, do so. 770-906-5271. I don't think this is going to be one of those full shows tonight, just because it doesn't need to be, I don't think. And if you all are not participating, then it's damn sure not going to be, okay? But anyway, be here. So again, the feminine energy in regards to changing the economic climate it's real. It's real because it's a giving energy. It's a supportive energy. It's a collective energy. It's a let's do this together kind of energy. It's a building energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a more of a, I won't say family necessarily, but it's an us type of energy. Let's do what we need to do for us. Let's help one another type energy. Masculine, not so much. If we're in that feminine energy, if we're utilizing that divine feminine, everything changes. Everything changes. The divine feminine is able to get access to that money that the masculine is unable to get access to, because there's a natural draw to it. Okay, she knows how to request it. She knows where to be when it shows up. The energy of currency is even soft. It's a wave. It's always moving. It's always being transferred. It's always being exchanged. It's always in demand. Everybody wants it. It's a necessity. Everybody has to have it. Without it, you can't do things. That's feminine energy. What's going on, Patricia? I see you, love. That's a feminine energy. So the currency, period, in itself is feminine currency. It does that. It's a wave. It's soft. Okay, like the woman. I'm just saying. Y'all can think I'm crazy or I don't know what I'm talking about. Look it up for yourself. Just pay attention. It is operating on a feminine energy. We now are not operating in feminine energy, which is why there's so many different things. However, because of the opening up of a lot of the financial programs, if y'all don't know about them, I'd advise you to get to asking some questions. You know, get to asking some questions. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But it's a lot more money floating around here that's available to many and almost everybody. If you know where to go, who to ask, what to do, whatever, it's available. But you have to do it in that feminine energy. But just the fact that it's available, that is out there, this is a feminine energy type situation. So the climate is slowly changing, but you have to be very aware of that. What you saying, Ms. Carla? You said men energy is more direct and on point. Yep. Where women energy is more emotional during negotiating business deals. Absolutely. The masculine and feminine energy, right? Like I said, it's not so much the men and women as it is the masculine and feminine. And that has to be made known that there is a difference, because you'll have people, like I said earlier, that will see that, you know, and not understand that feminine and masculine is not about man and woman. It's about the energy, the masculine and feminine energy. They both have purposes and different abilities. They're both necessary and they both have to be balanced. They both need to be utilized when they're called for. It's just that we have been operating collectively more so in the masculine energy, which is why things are not being done. They're not being handled correctly. This just came to mind, so I'll accept it as my thought, but it just came to mind biblically written. it is not good for man to be alone. That's also based on an energy. It's not good for just the masculine to exist, because there are certain things the masculine energy cannot do. Equipped to do so. That's not a negative. That's just a fact. It's not equipped to think a certain way. It's not equipped to be nurturing. That's not natural for that energy to be nurturing and embracing, and it's just not, okay. I say that's not a shot at anybody. That's just a fact. But that's what balances everything out. The masculine and the feminine both are necessary to exist for there to be balance. Things do not move properly. And so far, again, we have been operating in more of a masculine energy. So shit is not operating correctly, because there needs to be a rise in the feminine energy. What's going on, Corey? You good, love? It's all good. You can always replay it. Appreciate you for being here. Keisha, I see you, loved one. Thank you for being here. Hope you're feeling better. Again, for those of you who are just joining me, again, what we're talking about tonight is changing or correcting the economic climate with the divine feminine, and understanding that we're not talking about woman and man necessarily, as we are talking about the divine masculine and feminine energy. In regards to the economic climate, as I stated, currency in itself is feminine. It's a feminine energy. The way that it flows, the way that it is exchanged, the demand and need for it. Nothing can happen without it. It gives life to it. It's supportive. It is the means of everything. It is the mother of all things. You know what I'm saying? Not sound like how the masculine sees the feminine as a man and a woman. It's one of the he's a guru. I can't even think of his name, but he's a yogi or whatever. He's also made statements about what we're talking about. The economic climate depends on the feminine energy. That's what is going to change everything. So when it comes to having access to programs or whatever, we need to take advantage of that. And I don't just mean women. Okay, we need to take advantage of that in the feminine energy. Women, now I'm speaking directly to you, women, we need to take advantage of that, because there's so many things that we can be changing when we are in our financial status of stability. When we are stable in our feminine energy, it changes the stability of the economic climate. When we have what we need as a feminine, that does not mean get what you need and say, I don't need y'all, I'm doing my own. It is not that. Okay, it's just making sure that you have what you need in order to be self-sufficient. Heard what I said, heard it. Okay, heard self-sufficient. I didn't say independent. What you need to have in order to be self-sustainable. That is important. It is necessary for the development of everything. Sustainable all the time. It must stay balanced all the time in order for things to circulate the way that they need to, in order for the climate to change from the state of lack to the state of abundance. It's a mindset. It's an energy. If you think that you don't have or that you need, that is a negative vibration and you will draw that to you. You don't need to do that. Okay? Just change how you think. And that also affects the economic climate. If you think you don't have it, then you don't. And you won't. The universe will grant that. It will say he or she wants nothing. Let's give them nothing. And we're going to give you an abundance of nothing. So check yourself. Okay? Get in your balanced energy, in your masculine and feminine energy, and correct it. So we can correct what's going on out here. We don't have to sit back and wait and see what's going to happen. Exactly, DJ. As a man thinking, so is he. We don't have to sit back and wait to see what's going to happen. We can create it. We have the ability and the calling to create it. It's just a matter of over and understanding how to do that. And what that is knowing, first of all, that we are all created with a masculine and a feminine energy, both of which need to be balanced in order for things to be balanced. We are completely out of that right now because the world is running off of masculine energy. If you look at how the world has been run since the beginning of time, it's always been run by masculine energy. There's always been chaos and confusion and war, disharmony, always that, because of the masculine energy, the overflow of masculine energy. There's no feminine. There hasn't been any feminine energy, at least not enough to make a difference. Pay attention. Pay attention to that. You know, people used to joke, and they still do a little bit. We don't need no female president because she'll be in her feelings and the world will be fucked up. Not necessarily. That's not necessarily the case. You know, it very well may be that's what is needed because it's a different energy. You know, now if she's in her feelings, and this, I'm being funny, okay? If she's in her feelings, and y'all piss a sister off, and that red button right there, you know, she hit that bitch. You know, I'm just saying, I'm being funny. I'm being funny. But generally speaking, the energy is different. So we need to consider that. We need to consider that. I ain't going on that. But anyway, y'all know what I'm saying, right? Y'all got it. If you want to call in, feel free to do so. 770-906-5271. 770-906. The concerns, you want to share something, do so. Or you can always just ask me right here on the platform. If you feel so inclined to share this video, do that. Realize it. We need to know a lot of things that we're not having conversations about. We need to discuss some things that we didn't even know were subjects to be discussed. It's always my intention to provoke you to think and move on things that we don't talk about, things that have not been presented as normal or standard. Okay. And I pray that you get that, okay, that you get it every time you show up, that I'm giving you information that you will take in and utilize it, okay? So again, the feminine energy is something that we absolutely must tap into. Changer. What you saying, Miss Carla? You say women are natural organizers, wives, mothers, taking care of kids, jobs. Yep, career. Absolutely. Absolutely. And because of that, it makes it easier for her. She's natural. That's what I'm saying. We need to be more so paying more attention to the feminine, no good or bad. You know what I'm saying? There's positive and negative, but there's positive and negative charges and batteries. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that they have to be balanced in order to work. And we have not been operating in balance. It's time to change that. Okay. If you want things to flow economically, if you want them to change for you emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, then you have to make sure that your energies are balanced, that you are utilizing both the feminine and the masculine. Sometimes there is a necessity for the masculine to take over. Okay. Not saying that it's not. Sometimes you just can't give a fuck. Period. Okay. You got to do what you got to do the way you got to do it to get it done. And that's it. Okay. Because it's necessary. The situation calls for that. But it's not always that. If you even, let's just look at it in relationships. When you have a man and a woman who are in disagreement, and the masculine energy, wherever it's coming from, the masculine energy is firm in its stance. It doesn't move. It's immovable. It's my way or the highway. You don't get nothing done. If it's my way or the highway, guess what? I'm packing my shit. I'm out. There's no meeting. You have to balance that thing out. It doesn't work. There's always combat and conflict when one outweighs the other. Corey says men and women are not equal. However, we are equally as strong, great, and brilliant. Men have what women don't, and women have what men don't. We are supposed to be both complementary and supplementary. Let's see, to one another. Absolutely. And it's funny and sad because a lot of people don't get that. They don't over or understand that at all. But you are absolutely correct. And I thank you for saying that. So people that will come back and check this video will see that. That's a fact. Yes, ma'am. Balance in all things. Everything is created in a balance. That's the only way it works. So if we're doing anything outside of nature, if we're doing anything outside of yin and yang, as it's really pronounced, it doesn't work. It cannot work. You cannot turn a light off if it was not first on, right? You cannot tell someone to be quiet if they were not first talking. You know what I'm saying? It's always, I'm being silly, but this is, you know what I'm saying? This is fact, right? There's, you know what I'm saying? Balance, okay? Balance is necessary. The feminine energy is required. And in regards to our economic climate, again, the feminine energy must rise. The feminine energy must rise in order to change the economic climate. George, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Ms. Carla says, true. When women get too emotional, it's good when a man can see through most distractions in life and become problem solvers. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny, too, because a lot of times since we're talking about relationships, when a woman is in her feelings and unable to hear and process logic, and then you have her man come in and he like, now you know that's foolish. You know you need to cut it out. He cool in his masculinity. She receives that. She's able to receive that because he balanced it. His energy balanced it. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, yeah, you right. I was being foolish. You right. I was in my feelings. You right. What I did, that ain't make no sense. Cool. And then things can change. What's going on outside? Thank you for being here. Great vibrations. I appreciate you, loved one. But absolutely. So we do actually appreciate that. Okay. Because yes, you can be too much in your feminine energy. That too is a fact. That is a fact. So it has to be a balance, which is why we have men and women, women and men. You know what I'm saying? It was created that way for a reason. When you take that into relationships, I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but y'all know what I'm saying. When you take it into relationships, it's a reason that there's man and woman, masculine and feminine. Moving forward, we're not going to do this discussion tonight. But anyway, Corey says, but to her statement, men are naturally problem solvers, but sometimes there is not always a problem to be solved. Sometimes we just have to listen and let her vent. This is true. That is absolutely true. But your masculine energy sometimes your masculine energy is just listening to her. It's neutral. Okay, so the neutral still allows her to grab hold of some of that neutrality and balance out. So you are correct in that. Patricia says it takes a strong man to deal with our emotional energy and its fluctuations to help us balance. Absolutely, it does, and vice versa. Because we kind of off the subject just a smidgen, but men have a tendency to do some shit that we don't do, or that we don't like the way they communicate or whatever, how they handle things on their own and shut down or whatever. So it takes a strong woman to be able to say, okay, well, that's how he does things. I can deal with this a little bit, or try to even to help him get to a point of understanding that he doesn't have to do that by himself. So it goes both ways. But I say it's necessary for us to really understand what our energies are. That energy is everything. I say that all the time. Energy is everything. Don't take it as a man that I'm saying that you have to be a punk, because some will hear it like that, and that ain't what I said at all. It's a matter of knowing when not to buck up. It's not necessary to be, you're going to give me this loan, or I'm going to come in here and I'm going to eat. No, that ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. You have to be in your feminine energy. It's a way of communicating, period. It's an energy that you're in. It's a different state of mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of frequency. That's it. Okay? You can still get what you want and or need if you are presenting it correctly. You have to present it in the way that that situation calls for. If you don't, you ain't getting it. Then you're going to have to call in a true feminine energy to step in on your behalf. That's just facts. That's all I'm saying. If you all have any questions, let me know. Ask the questions. Tell me your statements, your concerns, or whatever. If you want to call in, feel free. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. Again, we are discussing the correcting the economic climate through the divine feminine, which again is an energy. It is not specific to man or woman. It is strictly an energy. In order for things to change, we have to get out of or balance out the masculine energy in which everything has been operating, because it's very forceful. It's very a matter of fact. It's very don't give a fuck. It's very I'm gonna step on your neck. It's very crabs in a bucket. Is that okay? This is the way this system is run. It's run on masculine only energy, which makes it imbalanced. It makes it unfair, if you will, very chaotic. It does that because it's not natural. It's not natural. So if you want things to change for yourself, you want things to change for your community or whatever it is, you got to change and balance out that energy. That feminine energy is very powerful, very powerful. As women, we are very powerful in our influence, which is why I tell you all the time, you have to be careful on how you utilize that thing. Don't utilize it in a manipulative type way where it causes injury or harm to somebody. Don't do that, because that's when you have the masculine energy that then rises up and start causing chaos and war. And we don't need no more of that. We don't need no more of that. we need some peace, right? The only way even a little bit of that's going to happen, flip them frequencies, raise your vibrations, balance out those energies, the masculine and feminine, those divine energies must be balanced, period. There's nothing else to say about that. That's it. For things to change, then things got to change. Be the change, all right? Don't call nobody and complain to the government. Well, y'all need to do blah, blah. And no, that ain't happening. This is not going to happen, okay? The system, the energy that's running the system has to change. And sometimes that means, or it's more than likely going to mean that the feminine energy has got to rise up. The feminine energy has got to rise up. It has to move forward. It has to make change, period. It's a must. Women, now I'm speaking directly to you. Women at this time, and it's been going on for a little while, we are in a process of pruning. And what that looks like is soil is being cultivated a certain way that will only allow for certain seeds to be planted that will grow abundance, that will grow fruit. Some of those trees that have been there, those plants that have already sprouted and grown fruit, has grown some rotten ass fruit, right? The limbs have been weakened. The leaves are just dying. Whatever it is, it can't grow anymore. It can do nothing. So women are being put in this process of having certain things removed. So if you find yourself being in situations that seem to be repeating, one is because you ain't learning. Okay, that's one. But two is to put you in a position to be elevated, to move to another level, to become immune, not, I don't want to say immune to, but to become stronger against certain things that are coming at you, to be able to see them in a logic. Okay, so if you're too much in your feminine, you're not seeing the logic. You're not able to process the logic. So some things are being done to us for our better. So we're being forced to utilize the masculine energy. Okay? That's not a bad thing. We're being forced to use the masculine energy in order to balance out, because we've been operating too much in just the feminine. Mind you, this works both ways. You can't be too much in one and think things are going to be good, because it's not. Ain't going to happen. The body don't work that way. If one side of your body is jacked up, the other side is also jacked up. Okay, even if you don't feel the pain on one side of your body, because it's just one side feels the pain, the other one doesn't mean that it ain't jacked up because it don't feel it. Sometimes not feeling pain is a problem. Okay, so things have to be balanced all the way around. If you're too much in your feminine, you're going to have to access that masculine to balance out. If you're too much in that masculine, you're going to have to access that feminine in order for it to balance out. That's what I'm saying. So women, the things that we're going through right now is for a purpose, but learn the lesson so you don't have to keep repeating. Okay, we can't afford to keep repeating. We have things to do in our feminine energy. We have things to do, because there's certain things only a feminine energy can do. It's certain things only a woman can do. Nuki, what's going on, loved one? Appreciate you for being here. There's certain things that only a masculine can do. There's certain things only a man can do, but they have to be balanced out, period. If you want things to change, you have to change them, okay? If we want our economic status to be balanced, then we have to change our mindset from complete masculine to masculine and feminine energy. That's the only way it's going to work. Okay? Your currency is feminine energy. It's feminine energy. Okay? Y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns? Because I think I'm about done. For real, for real. If you want to call in real quick, 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. If you want to call in and share or ask any questions or whatever, you all feel free, and please, y'all start sharing these videos. You know, I appreciate you all for being here and watching them and getting what you get from them. But there's plenty of other people that need to hear it. Plenty, not just this one. Plenty people need to get the messages that are being given to you on Monday nights. Okay, so please share these videos. Please, would you please do that for me? I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate you. All right, loved ones. I'm gonna wrap up. So, real quick reminder. I appreciate it. I did see you share that, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. If you have not already gotten your With Purpose hoodie or shirt, as you can see right there, it's available in black and white.com, MYOMY wellness.com, or you can just contact me directly, inbox me, whatever, and I'll make sure you get that. Okay. Also, the My Life Matters shirts, those are available in several colors and several sizes, even youth sizes. So you can get those as well. I'm also creating, for those of you who do not know, some of you already know, I'm a chemist now. I've been in the lab. I've been making some things. So I got my products, natural products, and some smell goods too that I'm doing my testing on folks. So those of you who have signed up to be product testers, y'all should have your stuff in already, okay, to me, so I can get to you what you need. So if you haven't, hurry up and do it. All right. So that's that for me. Make sure you all join me and my girls. Okay. Y'all join us on Thursday at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 10, on the move, unscripted, on purpose, the ladies roundtable discussion. I don't know what we're talking about this week, but you know, it's always something. So make sure that you join us. Okay. We love when you all call in and join in the conversation. We love that. Okay. So do that. Let's support one another in what we're doing in all of our endeavors. Make sure you raise your vibrations all the time. Get yourself out there in that sun all the time. Go pay attention to the moon. Go have a conversation. Go wrap yourself around a tree. I said it. I meant it too. Go do that. Okay. Reconnect with the universe. Reconnect with nature, so you can get the downloads. You get the instructions when you are reconnected. Go do that. Okay. Not for me, but for us. Okay. Please and thank you. All right, loved ones, I'm going to get on out of here. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Thursday. And I have a new grandson coming soon, so I'll be looking forward to that. I'll be out of here for a little while, but y'all will see me, the happy grandma. I don't believe I said that out loud, but yeah. Again, I love you on purpose, with purpose. Until I see you again. Peace.